Well, hi, everybody. This is DearMamaSal, and we're live on a Friday evening, which means it's time for us to talk about coping with life, and most particularly coping with life on a limited budget. And I think we're all beginning to feel the strain of having less money because everything else is costing more, and we're still trying to keep ourselves fed. So, as I've always said to you, there's one thing that you want to think about. If you want to know how to eat economically, cheaply, then have a look at other cultures. Because when you look at other cultures, they've all learned to live off the land and to eat fairly cheaply. You just have to see what they're best known for in terms of what I call their peasant cooking. Not the not the five-star hotels, but what does the average person do? All right, what do they do? So today I'm visiting Spain for my inspiration, and we're going to do not the perfect paella. So if any of you happen to be Valencias, or you know exactly how to cook the perfect Spanish dish, this is not for you. I'm going to just do my version of it. Basically, what we're going to be doing is cooking up some savory rice and adding, tonight, I'm going to be adding giant prawns to it. I think they're called giant. Make sure, no, extra large prawns, sorry. Hi, Autumn. Good to see you. And we've been waiting to hear about your vacation, Autumn. So let us know and I'll read it out to the viewers. Welcome back. We missed you. Um, so today I'm going to be putting some extra large prawns into mine. They're just defrosting here. They're already pre-cooked. So I've just got them in some water. And as you can see, we're going to be eating the rainbow. For green, we have got obviously some garnishes in green, which we're going to be putting on probably last, but we've got some celery leaves, some parsley as well, which we'll put in. Um, we've got green, we've got lime. I'm going to be cooking the um, prawns in lime and soy sauce. Green, we've got celery itself. We've got some cut up celery there. We've got some of my chives that I've got from my garden. We've got green. I've got some leftover zucchini. We are, using up what's left in the fridge on a Friday night. So that's the green. Oh, and some lettuce we're going to be using later on. Yellow, we've got yellow pepper and corn. Interesting fact, corn. How many of you think that your body does not digest corn? By the way, if you want to find out if your tummy is working properly, corn is a good way to find out. They say don't eat any corn for a week and then have some corn. See how long it takes to travel through. The interesting thing is it looks like the corn is not absorbed by your body, but that is not true. I don't know if you guys know this. What happens is the body will actually digest the inside of the corn, and what comes out is the husk of the corn, the outside shell of the piece of corn, which is made of cellulose, I think, and that is why it passes through and doesn't get digested. Did you know that? So a really good way, if you're wondering how well does my digestive system work, don't eat corn for a week and then have some, and then see how many hours it takes for the corn to go through. In my case, not very long. All right, so that's our yellows and greens we've done. Obviously, we've got orange carrots, and we've got red peppers and red tomatoes, purple onion. Now, for those of you who are new, all right, for those of you who are new, why am I talking about all these colors? Good question. Why? Because one thing I learned from Benji and Judy, one thing I learned from Benji was eat the rainbow. If you can start your meal and see that you've got the rainbow in front of you, this is a pretty healthy meal. Oh, I've also got some rice. By the way, I've changed the water in it about five times, at least 5 times. It's still a little bit cloudy, but not too bad. That is 1/3 of a cup of rice. Why? Because that is the amount I allow myself a week, 1/3 of a cup of rice. portion control is really important. And if I've got this right, this will make at least 2 meals for me. Now, the other thing is, this is the magic. Did you know that when you are cooking rice in spices, spices don't like hitting hot temperatures on their own, if you like. So what they recommend is if you're going to have spices, put them in the water that you're going to cook the rice in. But I've had this inside this water for at least 2 hours, right? So now the whole of this water has got all the taste of the herbs in it. What have I got in here? What do you think? I've got some chicken stock, a chicken stock cube in there. By the way, this is about 1.5 cups that I'm going to use for my 1/3 of dry rice. Normally for Spanish rice, you would put saffron. Didn't have saffron, so as usual, what do I use if I haven't got saffron? Well, what do you want the saffron for? To give it that kick, all right, that taste. I've put turmeric in here, which is going to hopefully also make the rice go yellow. You could also put curry powder in there if you wanted to, if you like that sort of flavor. But I've got turmeric, which, by the way, is partially curry powder, isn't it? It's part of the ingredient that makes curry powder yellow. So I've got turmeric in there. I have got some cumin. I put some cumin in there. I put some paprika in there. What else did I have? Cumin, paprika. I put some pepper in there as well. So this has all been rather like making tea, right? It's been steeping for a couple of hours. So when I put the rice in with this, it is going to very quickly get absorbed by the rice, all right? It's not going to get frightened off. So there we have it, all right? We got the reds, everything else. Now I'm going to start by you don't often see me pull out my rice cooker, but today I've got it. And I'm going to, I need to keep it over there, unfortunately, because I still haven't got my electrical system fixed. But what I'm going to do is to just put in a little bit of oil, not very much. And then I'm going to saute the rice and the onion together. Now, this probably sounds strange. I'm going to saute the rice. Anybody know why? I'm going to go and start that up while you just discuss that amongst yourselves. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do, did I get any answers? Not yet. Okay, I'm going to put in the onion. So I've got some chopped up onion here, which I'm going to put in. And then I'm going to strain out the rice from this water. So I want you to see how little rice 1/3 of a cup is dry, all right? And what I like to see is when I finish cooking, how much of a meal do I have? You're saying next to nothing, Sal. That's ridiculous, but we'll see. Okay, now I saw that Autumn said, does frying the rice to begin with stop it from becoming mushy? Could be, but it isn't the reason why. If you saute the onion and your rice together, it brings out the flavor of the rice. It brings out a sort of nuttiness about the rice. I don't know if you know that. So I'm not going to overcook it. I'm just going to just get it so that it browns a little bit. And then I will be cooking it the normal way. Make sense? And one of the things that I always talk to people is about is I use my yes, Jodie's saying the same thing. Like toasting the rice brings out the nuttiness. Yeah, and I'm a nutty person, so it's fine. I like to use my rice cooker as a um, fry pan. You notice that's what I'm doing. So I'm not going to get a second pan out to do that. It's all going to cook in the same thing. Okay. Well, just don't let me forget that, please, people. That would be very kind. In the meantime, what I'm going to do is we're going to be meal prepping at the same time. So while that is starting, I'm going to get some vegetables ready to cook. I've got the air fryer on at 375. When I do these recipes, these little cooking things, I do everything at 375 because I don't want you to have to worry. It's just like the temperature. All right. And so all I'm going to do is I'm going to cut up some carrot. And this is for meal prepping for the rest of the week. And I like to do my carrots sort of like fries, all right? Oops. So again, these are carrots that are just about had enough. So I'm going to roast them up and eat them during the week. I won't overcook them. If anything, I will undercook them so that when I'm ready to eat them, I can just warm them up and it won't overcook. Makes sense, I'm sure. I'm going to put in some celery. I'm going to take the ends of the celery, keep those. So I'm going to turn those into celery sticks, if you like. You can go into there as well. Leave that for garnishing. I'm going to take some yellow pepper. And then throw that in. Zucchini. Actually, zucchini can go in. Now what I do is I try and cook sort of for myself about once a week. Maybe twice some weeks, depends what's happening. And then, for example, this vegetable will do me, for various meals during the week. I'll just add, half a cup or a cup, whatever I feel like. All right, so we've got that. And we're going to put some oil in there. But again, remember, we don't need to put very much oil, right? I'm just going to spritz it a couple of times. And then we will just mix it up so that stay in there. So the vegetables are good. Oh, we've also put some onion in there. We like onion. By the way, I like to cut up my onion and then keep it in a mason jar during the week. If I haven't used it, then I freeze it at the end of the week. By the way, purple onion turns to a really strange color once it's frozen. So I would only use that in stews and things where you're not going to see the color. Don't know why that is. Somebody might know. I don't. Okay. And there we have it. Eat the rainbow. And owing to the fact I've got lots of spring onion at the moment, I'm just going to take this and add that in. More onion. Good for the metabolism, I believe. I'm going to put in some pepper. Good for the metabolism. All right, while I'm just getting this together, we're going to be doing extra large prawns. How many would you guess is a serving, right? Because we always try to remember portion control. What would you say is a serving of extra large prawns? One is that big. How many would you serve as a serving? Stay in there. Okay, so I'm going to put that in to cook. Alexa, 15-minute warning. Alarm. Alexa, 15-minute alarm. Thank you. All right, so I forgot to warm up the rice cooker. All right, so Jody's saying maybe 5 or 6 for a dinner portion. Yes. I believe about, I personally could, if I had a normal plate, I'd probably even get away with 3 if I was really on a budget, all right? So they say about 5 is a portion. In other words, if you go to a restaurant, that's what they would serve you. So think about that. So I have thawed out, I think it's 11 here, all right? So I'm going to cook up 6 in a minute, reheat them for tonight's meal, and then I'm going to keep the other 5. I thought I would show you how to make a really nice prawn cocktail in a wine glass. If you've never, it's so easy to do, right? So, we're going to throw the corn on top of in with the roasted vegetables so they can cook at the same time. And I've got my homemade butter ready for my corn this evening. Yum, yum, yum. Now we can choose whether to add the corn in with the meal that we're prepping, or we can have it on the side. I'm going to probably have mine as an entree, just have a piece of corn with some butter to start with. And then one of my snacks will be corn. All right. Okay, I just want to tell you something. Rice and onions saute a lot faster if you turn the hot pedal on. It was just on keep it warm. Thought it was a bit slow. Never mind. Okay, so we've got used our onion. And I change the water in here sort of about, anytime I bring it out, I will change the water to keep the water fresh. It's going back in the fridge. While we're waiting, for those of you who weren't here at lunchtime, I want to show you something that I was showing the lunchtime crowd. And the reason is because it's that time of the year where it's a really good idea. I had somebody come over for a barbecue this week, and I did a menu for them on my chalkboard. How many of you like that idea? And the funny thing was, I'm just going to quickly read it to you so you know what their choices they had. They had devil's on horseback, which is stuffed prunes or stuffed dates with bacon around them. Turkey kebab. I did a turkey kebab. I did the stuffed burger, caprese salad, because we did that recently, all right? They particularly asked for my mac and cheese, so I made that for them. By the way, I was very good. I only served 1 cup portion each, and I froze the rest, all right, to make sure that we didn't overdo the mac and cheese. And then for dessert, I had cheesecake, watermelon, and cheese and crackers, if you wanted it. Quite honestly, by the time we got there, she said to me, "You're going to cook all of that?" And I said, you probably think it's for you. You see, the thing is, I cook it all. I like to cook sort of once a week. And today is going to be a barbecue. And I said, so whatever you don't eat, I will then use for meal prepping. And as you can probably see here, right, I have these meal prepping containers that I use so that I can do that. Well, the funny thing was, I said to her, I need you to understand that it's really okay if you have everything. All right, you don't have to choose. You don't have to choose between turkey kebabs. By the way, I really recommend making turkey kebabs. Turkey is on really good price at the moment. And, it's just really, I just put them on and had the roasted vegetables on the side. So that was really good. But, I said you can, the stuffed burger. I did cream cheese and tomato in one, I think. And then on the other one, I did cream cheese and chives, and the other one, and mushrooms in the other one. So we had one stuffed burger each, and it wasn't big. It was, about half the size, but it was stuffed, so it looked big. And it just turned out to be a really nice meal that you could pick at. And in between, there was fruit and there were all sorts of stuff to eat. So I really recommend making your barbecues more friendly in terms of the food that you serve being finger food and not as much as you used to, all right? But just give the variety so people think that they're getting more in some ways. All right, now I've got to find where I was on that. Jody says it sounds like a menu from a fine dining establishment. Yes, well, it is, isn't it? Eating at my house. Okay, and I just need to turn the fan on so that my fire alarm doesn't go off. All right, there we go. All right, so it is starting to cook now, which is a good thing. A good place to start, right? So I'm hoping you all understand that what I try to do is I vary my eating by trying to go around the world and go, what shall I have as my theme this week? And so I thought, to have paella, it was a good idea. Now, basically, they call it Spanish rice, I guess. You can make it with anything, all right? I'm going to do it with prawns just because it's Friday and I thought it'd be nice to have some seafood. But you can use almost anything in this dish, And that's why it's a really good thing to have rotated. The interesting thing is what you do with the rice. All right, that's where you can really change up the taste. So, you and I both know that if I added more, turmeric will give it almost an Indian flavor in some ways, but it is the same thing. Jody, I'm sure you've had your version of it. It just wasn't with saffron. Now, saffron's pretty pricey, so that's why I had a look to see if you couldn't use saffron, what could you use, right? That's what I'm always looking at. And the number one thing they suggested using was the turmeric, because the turmeric will color the rice. And that's what we want, yellow rice with all the bits in it. Now, another thing that they warn you about when you're making this is don't overload. I'm inclined to overload with vegetables, all right, because I'm trying to eat more healthily. But one of the things that they say is if you're doing this, just, don't go mad with too many different flavors on the vegetables. Uh, and that's your personal choice, right? If you like, I personally like a lot of vegetables with my rice. And so it is very much. I am not going to mention garlic because, as those of you who know me well know, I'm allergic. But make sure you add your garlic in there, probably at the stage that I'm doing this right now. You know something? I just realized why it's got the problem. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in and let it cook in the fryer. It'll be quicker. Okay, so what we know is the air fryer cooks pretty quickly. I've put it on for 10 minutes because I'm pretty sure that's probably more than enough. Jody, can you remind me to check it on 5, please? That would be awesome. Yes, Jody's saying I was shocked at the price of saffron. I needed it for our Indian food fest. That tiny jar will last a long time, though. Yes, and that's what you got to think of, right? Is sometimes these things are expensive to buy the first time, but end up being long term, pretty cheap. As you know, I'm inclined to buy my spices in quite big uh, amounts. And, and yeah, they last for the longest time. This is, what have I got in here? Flaxseed, all right? But I bought a fairly large bag of it, and it's lasted me probably a year. This is my I've got some organic cocoa powder there. And this is my turmeric that I used, right? So I don't buy the bottle. You don't pay for the glass, all right? Pay for the spice, and then keep it in an airtight container. Now I've got, or in a plastic bag that you can seal inside a container, all right? And then I just write on the outside what's in there. All right, so now while that is cooking, we're going to put together the vegetables that are going to go in with the rice. All right, so here I've got some carrot. These are my peppers. I'm going to put in some chives or spring onions, whatever you want to call them. I've got some celery chopped up. And I'm going to keep the tomato out because I don't know about you, but I like my tomato to be the last thing I put on there when I put the garnishing on, right? So I just warm it up rather than cook it. So I'll probably forget to do that. And then I realized what was wrong with my rice cooker is that it didn't have enough weight in it. So I'm going to put this in. And let that start to warm up. I'm hoping that that will be enough weight. Obviously, when I get the rice in there, it will help. All right, I'm just going to turn over the rice that's in the air fryer, and then we'll be on our way. Alexa, stop. So the rice is doing much better in there. I'm happy now. All right. So we've got all of that in there. Now, so that is how much vegetable I've got. I think it should be, I'm hoping I've got the amount about right. Let me see how I did just by guessing it. Yeah. All right, so this is this is 1 cup. And I'm going to end up with about 3 cups of rice and one cup of mixed vegetables. And that's all going to cook together. Anybody getting hungry yet? Or is it just me? So the main thing to understand when you are working, anybody not good at cooking rice, if you have a problem with it, let me know. I find, yes, I've checked the air fryer. Thank you. And please remind me again in about 4 minutes. Thank you, Jody. For those of you who don't know, Jody is my admin. She does a wonderful job. And my timer. when you know who over there is busy. So that's about it, right? So I've got 1/3 of a cup of rice. I've got about, at the moment, I've got about 1.5 cups of liquid. I'm probably going to add another cup to it. All right. And then I'm going to have those in there as well. So we've got the tomato ready for when that's cooked with the garnish, right? That's what we're going to do. So we'll put all that together. There we go. Just waiting on the rice and onion to get nicely sauteed, and then we can get on with the rest of it. I think that's good. All right, now I don't want the rice to overcook, so it's just beginning to turn, from white to brown, and that's what I wanted. So now I'm going to dump it in the rice cooker. And I want a different. Oh, that's hot. Put in the vegetables. And I'm going to put in a little bit more water. I think it might need it. One of the things that they recommend is once you've got it all cooking, don't stir it. All right? Actually, I don't even need to have it covered. Now that I think about it. All right, so whilst that is having fun, I'm going to now just get my prawns ready. And what I'm going to do is to cook my prawns. I'm going to leave the tails on. Four and four. I thought I had. Oh, I did. Right. So I'm going to put 5 of them into the meal. Now, why am I going to leave the tails on, Sal? You don't need the tails. No, you don't need the tails. You do for the prawn cocktail, but not for this. And one of the things that you need to check, right, is that they've been properly deveined, which these have by the look of it. And the way you can tell is if there's a dark line here, open it up and pull the dark line out, all right? But these are good. All right, so what I'm going to do here is put in some of my homemade butter. Yum. That can all cook in there. I'm going to put in some lime juice. Yeah. And some soy sauce. And then I'm going to All right, people, what did I do with the lid of that? We know it's here. There it is. Okay. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on top of the air fryer. I might have to put that lid inside out, just to warm up. Thank you, Jody, for the warning. So that didn't take very long, did it? And there we have corn on the cob ready to go and roasted vegetables. So again, I'm going to put them on top to keep warm while the rest cooks. Actually, I can put them back in and keep them warm, right? Yeah. I've just realized that so turn it on, air fry. Right, I think I'm just going to leave it in there to stay warm. In the meantime, let's make ourselves a prawn cocktail. And I love to do this if I got company coming. So this is the hearts of my butter lettuce. So all I'm going to do is to take a couple of leaves. And I'm just going to drop those in there. Look pretty. And then I just used all the peppers. Never mind, so we'll find some yellow pepper left over. And like everything else to do with cooking, I think, you know, if it looks pretty, it's half the battle. And that's why I like to do it in a wine glass. So we've got that. We need some red in there. So we'll put some tomato in there. There we go. Oh, there was the rest of the pepper. I didn't use it all. Smart. And we need some, what else should we put in there? Oh, some onion, green onion. Then now I want to tell you, I haven't had this before, but it looks so interesting to me. This is Hellmann's now make what they call a spicy mayo. So let's try that, see what it tastes like. Oh, take the lid off first. Okay, so what I'm checking for is there spicy too spicy for me, right? A little bit. Whoa, yeah, that's got quite a kick to it. So what I'm going to do is I like it. It's just what I want. But I'm going to mix it now with some regular Hellmann's. because otherwise I will be perspiring profusely. And then I definitely tell you, it's got quite a kick to it. I'm going to mix that up. I find that when I go to a restaurant, I actually ask them to bring me the mayo and tomato ketchup and the hot sauce, so I can mix my own. Why? I know what I can tolerate and what I can't. All right, so that's much better. I need some pepper in there because pepper's good for the metabolism. Here we go. Put a bit more on top. Then I'm just going to dunk that on top like this. And I would normally serve a bit more of this on the side in case anybody needed it. And that's good. I like that combination. And then some paper towel. Always remember, it's the garnish that always makes it look so cute. So we put, these are celery that I have grown from the bottom of the celery that came into the house. And I just, whenever I want garnish, I just pick some leaves off it. And we've got some parsley that I've grown here, so we'll just put a couple of sprigs of parsley on there as well. What do you think? Good enough to eat? It's really a mini salad, all right? A prawn cocktail salad. Now, you know I've got to have this, I'm not on principle. Very tasty. So it's pretty. But the other thing is, Jody, is it portion control? All right, because that's what we're always looking for, right? Now I'm going to have more than my fair share of prawns today, but always think about it in terms of what would they serve you in a hotel, all right? And that's the whole thing, Jody. It's perfect portion control. Now, I've only had 2 of those. I'm now going to put it back in the fridge, and I'll probably have the rest of it either much later tonight or tomorrow. But it's all ready. And it's a salad unto itself with a couple of prawns. Yeah, it's still got 2 prawns in it. I really recommend that. But if you like really nice hot sauce, I really did like that. Too hot for me, but I know how to bring it down a tad. I enjoyed that. You know how much I want to stir it, don't you? Hi, Becca. Good to see you. Yeah, good to see you. So it's bubbling away really nicely, and I'm quite excited about it, but I'm not going to stir it. Ah, Becca, well, you know where to find us and you know what times of the week we're here. So feel free to join us anytime. It's always great to see you. I'm just going to stir these. Now I've left the lid off the prawns because even though it's not very hot, I think that it will help just reduce a little bit of that liquid down. So that will make it great. Oh, you've got a full-time job, Becca. That's wonderful. What are you doing? So proud of you. It's so nice not to be on shift work, right? Or maybe you are still on shift. It's really funny how that has changed, Becca. In my day, very few people worked, sort of part-time jobs, and now, almost everybody does because that means that the uh, companies don't have to pay you half the benefits. So the fact that you have got a full-time job means that you also probably now, uh, get your benefits as well. Well done. Are you just in the training phase, in so what they call it, probationary phase? Ah, excellent. So you're at the cashier at the moment at Walmart. Now, Walmart, they keep their people quite a long time, I think. If you can get in with Walmart, uh, and you also are right. So tomorrow you will have been there a month. All right. How long do you have to sort of work it out? Is it 3 months, or do you get benefits? I just want people to know because I think it's changing so much all the time. And today having a full-time job with benefits is really 90 days. Yeah, 3 months is normal, right? To find out if they like you and you like them, because anybody can show off for a month, right? Keeping it up for 3 months is difficult. By then they find out what you're really like, and you find out who they are as well. you know, I've got some horror stories in my past, I can tell you. I can remember in one job, Becca, that it took me over a month to find out that what I was training people in. It took me over a month to find out that what they were having me train people in was a lie. And I just couldn't believe it, when I worked it out. And I actually walked into the big boss and I said, I just want to just check something with you. And he said, what's that? I said, you have me train all your staff on all your sales staff on this. And can you prove it? And he said, what? And I said, can you prove it to me? And he said, not your job, just go and do what you're told. And I said, no, I won't do what I'm told if it's a lie. And I have a feeling this is not true. And the reason is I've done all the research I can, and I cannot find anything that backs up this claim. So I need to look you straight in the face and ask you, is it true? And he said, that doesn't matter, just train them. And I said, it may not matter to you, but it does to me. So I just want to tell you, you have already answered my question by avoiding it twice. And I just want to tell you, I'll be leaving today because I cannot be party to training lies. How many of you agree with me? It's just like, really? And that meant that I was training people who were going out and lying to customers. And no, I don't want to be part of that. Thank you very much indeed. And the guy I was talking to was incensed, and he said, "You can't do that." And I said, "Oh yeah, I can." I said, "By the way, try taking me to court for walking out on you." It doesn't matter what the lie was, Becca. It just was a lie, and I couldn't find anything to back up the statement that I was being told to train people with, and that's why I asked. And it turned out it was a lie. And as soon as I found that out, I left. And as I said, I said to him, "If you want to take me to court, be my guest." I don't think there is a judge in the world that's going to blame me for walking out when I have been told to tell a lie. And by the way, if you take me to court, that will be public knowledge. And he said, that's blackmail. I said, no, that's fact. And I said, the other thing is this. If anybody asks me why I left this job in such a hurry, I'm not going to lie. And again, this is on you, not on me. Don't blame me for it. This is your stuff. I wasn't very popular that day, I can tell you. Now, the problem is, normally I would stir it to see how the rice is doing. And it definitely says don't stir it. So the rice cooker hopefully will kick out once the moisture has gone. Will I end up with messy rice? I don't know. One of the things they say, though, and I've just got to remember that, is take the rice out before it's fully cooked. So I think I need to taste a bit. Hang on. And you guys probably know this, but that rice is done. All right, so the rice is done enough. What I'm going to do is take it out and then let it finish, and then let it sit for about 5 minutes. Do you all know that? It's a good, let the steam of the rice finish cooking itself. So now what I'm going to do is just add the tomatoes. And I'm going to add a bit more pepper, just for color. And then some leaves. Oh, we want some prawns on there, right? Good idea. You just burn yourself. Very nice. And I'm just going to pour this over it rather than waste it, because we know it's tasty. And we will add some more garnish. By the way, I'm inclined to add the stalks in as well. So how many of you are going, nice, easy dish? And if you think about it, we did it in an hour from start to finish. When I say an hour, right, it's not a labor-intensive meal. And also, what I want to show you is how I would do this, all right? So it's amazing how quickly that cooked. Where's the inside of it? It is. So I've got this bowl and I love it, all right? And I know that this is enough for 2 meals for me. So half would go in here. One more corn, so. All right. And the other half I would meal prep into here. So that can cool down as I'm eating the other one. And again, what I really like about these containers is I know that is a serving like that. But what I'm going to do is to put the corn with it. All right. So what I will do the next time I eat this or when I bring it out is I'll turn it upside down and just warm the whole lot up. Yum. And if you remember, we've also cooked some roasted vegetables, which I am going to have. What I'm going to do with this is I'm going to put this here with some butter, homemade butter. And then I'm going to put some more of those vegetables, those roasted vegetables on top. There you go, that's good. I'm always looking to increase the amount of vegetable I have. Now then, this is not very Spanish, but I'm going to do it anyway. Am I? Or maybe I... Oh. Oh, I must have had it. I thought I still had a piece of pineapple in the fridge and I was going to add that to it. But how many of you can see that is a pretty healthy meal made out of 1/3 of a cup of dry rice, but lots of flavor to it. And if you wanted to, you can put something over the top of it, if anything that you like. And that is the way that I like to cook, all right, which is, does it have color and does it have lots of different tastes? So I'm hoping you enjoyed that, nice and easy. And Let me have your comments below if there's anything you'd like to see me try. Jody, I assure you that you cannot taste that rice, but the rice actually, I did taste a bit on the way. Hang on, where's my fork? But that rice is, the rice is beautifully cooked, and it has a tang to it, right? Because of the turmeric. And I've still got some vegetables that are not fully cooked, which I love. It gives it crunch. Uh-huh. So I'm going to go and enjoy this. How many of you are going, I really should do something like that this week? Mm-hmm. Crunchy vegetables. Mm-hmm. And that's what Jody is saying. This is a $20 entree at a restaurant. And the portion is right, Jody. All right. If I want to eat more, I just add more vegetables. I can taste the turmeric now. That's coming in. That tastes good. So I'm going to go and enjoy this. And then I've still got, I'm going to start with enjoying my corn. But I've only got half a piece of corn. And now we know I'll be able to check how good my digestion is. I don't know about the rest of you, but I just love fresh corn. Oh, hope you enjoyed it. And I'll see you all on Sunday. Thank you for being here with me. I hope it inspired you to try something Spanish. And you can make as many different versions of this. You can do it with sausage, if you have Italian sausage or something, or you can do it with bits of ham in it. You can do it with bits of chicken in it. It's just like the base of it is the flavorful rice. That is the base, all right? And the vegetables are cooking at the same time as the rice, so they also have that taste to them. And I want to tell you, it's a good taste. This is DearMamaSal saying, thank you so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed it. I will be off to go and eat myself stupid now. Bye-bye for now. Thanks for your help, Jody.